Hi guys and welcome back to Let's Talk. My name is Annika, and today here in Texcoco in the state of Mexico, it's been really hot. We have around 28 to 29 degrees, which reminded me of my first vacation experience here in Mexico. So I got here in January, and then for Easter, me and my friend Fabiola went to Acapulco, which is in Guerrero, and we were going to stay with her family. It was super cool because it's really hard to get a hotel room for Easter. And we went there by bus, and this was the trip when I learned about the importance, the vital aspect of sunblock. So after a couple of months of working here, I was really psyched about having some vacay. I had previously been invited by one of my students to go to Guadalajara in Jalisco, but those plans fell through because somebody in her family got sick. So when Fabiola invited me to go to Acapulco with her, I was so grateful because I didn't really know what to do and I didn't know where to go. So we hopped on the bus in Mexico City. We took the bus at Tasqueña, which is the bus station to go to Acapulco. And we actually had a flat tire on the way, so the bus had to take a small detour. And then when we were waiting, and I didn't know, they didn't really tell us that we had a flat tire. They just said, oh, we need to fix some things. And people came on the bus to sell us incredibly delicious cookies and bread and some candy. And every time after that, when we went to Acapulco, I was like, why aren't we going to that small town where they sold us delicious things? But I learned that was just like a mistake, right? So after a couple of hours on the bus, we got to Acapulco, and the bus was freezing. The air conditioning was full on, and it was really cold on the bus. So then when we got to Acapulco, I did not expect the heat wave. First of all, I had never been to such a hot place, right? I mean, I am from Europe. I had been to Greece, I had been to Spain, I had been to other places, but the heat here is different. So when I got off the bus, it was like something just like slapped me in my face. It was so hot, I kind of took a step back. And then we got a taxi and we went to her family's house, and they were so nice, and they had like a special room for us and everything was super cool. And that first day, I'm a walker, okay? I love walking. So her family lives close to Caleta, which is a smaller bay. It's not in the center of Acapulco, it's a smaller one. So they live pretty close to there. And we got to Acapulco in the afternoonish, and it wasn't like time to go to the beach. So we went to her family's house, we took a shower, and then we got ready. And we went to La Quebrada. It's kind of like one of the first things you do when you get to Acapulco, and it was amazing. And we got a cab there. I don't remember if we took a cab on the street or if her family actually drove us there, but we got there by cab. It was amazing. We saw the divers, it was beautiful. We took so many photographs, and then we wanted to go to the center of Acapulco, so we walked. Poor Fabiola. I mean, she is an amazing friend. She never complained. I don't remember exactly how long we walked for, but it's a pretty good stretch walking there. And then getting closer and closer to the downtown, you see the parks, you have the ocean on the right, and it's absolutely beautiful. It was amazing. By then it was kind of like nighttime, right? So we continued walking. We wanted to go more to the bar hop area, and we did, and we ended up at a pirate ship. And that is kind of like where we spent almost every dancing hour in Acapulco for 2 years when we went there. It is pretty awesome. I really recommend it. At this moment, I don't remember the name of it. Barbaroja? Maybe that's the name of this bar. It's huge. It's a pirate ship, and it's pretty hard to miss. And we stayed there, we had drinks, and we had fun. And that's also when I learned that 2 for 1 in Acapulco. It's not like they give you 2 drinks and you share it with your friend. They give each person 2 drinks. So that was pretty cool. And we had a good time dancing and drinking, and then we went home because the next day was going to be like the beach day, right? Yeah, I know it kind of sounds nerdy that we didn't stay until 5 o'clock at the bar to go to the beach the next day, but we were also pretty tired from working and from traveling and everything. So it was just the first night at the bar. There was going to be more, really. And so the next day we went with her family to Caleta Beach, and me, as a good white person who tans pretty well in Europe, in Swedish heat. I mean, I had been to Greece and I had been to Italy and to Spain and to some other countries, but the heat here is completely different and I had never experienced that. And I didn't think too much about it because I'm like, oh, I tan well and I'm gonna have this super cool bronze color. And so I used sunblock number 2 carrot oil style sunblock. I just
What?
smeared that on myself and did not sit in the shadow, didn't care for like those like big things that cover you from the sun. I was like, no, I came here to be in the sun. And so Fabiola and her family, her cousins, were sitting under the shade, and I went out and just laid like a flat fish in the sand on my towel. And I kind of just told Fabi, wake me up in an hour and so I can just like flip over. And she was like, are you sure? It's really hot, you know? I'm like, no, it's fine. I can handle the sun really well. I tan really well. I'm gonna look so cool. And yeah, she did that. As I said, she's a great friend. And I was having a really good time at the beach. Nobody told me that I was red as a boiled lobster, and I didn't feel bad whatsoever. And I did that like maybe 2 or 3 times during the day, and obviously getting into the water, swimming, having lots of fun with the kiddos, playing with balls, and you know, all of those kind of beachy things that you do. And then after a complete day at the beach, we went back home and I hit the shower. There is no hot water in Acapulco, at least not if you stay with the regular family, but also at like the other hotels and the condos and everything that we have rented over the years there's really no hot water because it's not necessary. Like you can there are 2 faucets, you can turn both of them on, but it's really only going to be cold water because it's so hot, so you don't need hot water. And when I turn on the shower and the water hit my shoulders, I just yelled. I just screamed, like I was in pain. It felt like needles coming out of that shower head. And I turned off the water and I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And they had a small mirror and I was like, holy moly. I was burned beyond recognition. I was redder than, this would have been pale in comparison. And I took the shower with great difficulties, and then leaving the shower, I just started shaking. I was shaking like a leaf getting out of that shower, and my friend was really worried, and my friend's family was even more worried about me, like, oh my God, what can we do? I felt that I had a fever. That was pretty easy to feel, and I think they could also see that I was in a really, really bad shape. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use my mom's remedy, yogurt. If there is natural yogurt, you can cure everything. So I asked for a big sheet, a big bed sheet, and they went out for yogurt for me, and I smeared yogurt on the sheet, and I kind of wrapped myself like a tamal in that yogurt sheet, and I laid in the dark for a couple of hours. And Fabiola was very understanding, and she was very compassionate. It was like, what else can I give you? I was like, no, I just need to sleep a bit. And I don't remember, maybe somebody gave me a paracetamol or ibuprofen or something to lower my fever. And after a couple of hours, I felt pretty good, and I was like, okay, let's hit the bar scene. They were like, really? You're gonna go out? And I said, of course we're gonna go out. This is Acapulco. We're here to have fun. I'm not gonna stay in my room just because I happen to have a little bit of fever. So yeah, we did that. And I had no idea what to wear because I had brought Mexico is hot at all times, but our work clothes were very specific and very formal. So I had gone shopping for some things before going to Acapulco. Why? Because very close to Texcoco is an amazing small town that is called Chiconcuac, and it's a textile center, and they make absolutely amazing clothes. So we had gone for some items, but everything I tried to wear was just painful. I couldn't wear a t-shirt, I couldn't wear a blouse. Everything was just hurting me because I was so sunburned. And Fabiola was very nice. She offered to lend me some clothes, but she's a lot slimmer than I am, so there's like nothing out of her suitcase that would fit me. And I had one vest, kind of like a cotton jeans kind of vest with me that I was thinking, oh, this could look cool. That was the only thing I could wear. It was a little bit like hard around the edges maybe for my very, very sunburnt shoulders, but it was the only thing I could wear. And I was very thankful for chicken kwek at that moment, and I had something in the suitcase in the suitcase that I could wear. And then we went out and we went to the same pirate bar and we had a lovely time. We danced, we drank, we had so much fun, we met people, and we just enjoyed the summer night breeze in Acapulco from the bar deck, and it was absolutely amazing. I do love Acapulco. I haven't been there now for many years, but it used to be great, and I think sometimes I really want to go back, and I don't know why I haven't. But of course, when you live in one place for a long time, you want to see like everything, and Mexico is kind of like ridiculously full of amazing places to visit. So, but one of these days I will go back to Acapulco, and I will not recreate my sunburn experience because I have learned since then. So yeah, if you come to Mexico and you think you're used to hot weather and you're white and you tan well, you don't. Nowadays I use sunblock factor 150, or the highest one I can find, and I do stay in the shadow, and I just spend a few moments in the sun. It's the best thing you can do if you want to have a great experience, and it's also the best way to keep your skin safe, right? So yeah, that was my first experience, my first vacation experience in Mexico. And please let us know, have you been to Acapulco? Do you like it? What other places do you love visiting in Mexico? Please let us know in the comments. And remember, please subscribe, follow us here on YouTube, and also on the other social medias, which are TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. This is Let's Talk Texcoco, and we will soon be back with more fun anecdotes and stories and tips for learning English. Take care, guys. Bye.